Okay, so this is another twin flame tarot reading. Um, so this one is for I'm picked up into some current energies. I know the energies are really quick to change in all of this, so I'm gonna say this might be relevant for the next 24 hours. No jokes. Yeah, probably. Hey, I'll say I think probably the next 3 days. So I don't even, yeah. Anyway, there's purpose to all of this. So over here, I first drew cards from the Debbie Malone, one of her angel guardian decks. So I asked what spirits or angels or what guides are guiding us actually through the month of August within the Twin Flame connection. And I got number 9, Angel of Determination, followed by number 18, Angel of Inspiration, followed by number 31, Angel of Success. So I think we're really being guided to stay determined and inspired in ourselves from the connection. Like, especially it was the other way. It was it did come out inspiration, determination, success. So stay inspired within the connection, within ourselves, within life. Approach those inspirations or follow those inspirations through determination, and that will lead to success. So just stay inspired, be determined if it's right, and yeah, they promise they'll lead us into success. Then I pulled the cards out, but I had the board landscape, and I wanted to change the border up to portrait, and I don't know, I just kind of changed the way the cards came out, but it made sense. But it was annoying me because I know where I wanted to have the devil card, but it wouldn't fit because it was out of line. And then I just had this brilliant idea to put it up like this behind the mirror, and look what it's doing. So we've got the King of Swords in reverse, but because I've got it facing the mirror, he's looking directly into the devil. So, and the devil's on top because I think this is because of the masculine's energy, but because it's one soul, twin connections. We feel each other, we are each other. What one does ultimately affects the other somehow, because it is our union, and his energy is preventing the union from moving forward. Of course it has an effect on us. So as I said with the last reading I did for this, which I think is removed because I hated it, I see a significance in the devil card in the way that it displays Adam and Eve, female and female, the divine, DMDF. See how they chain together to the devil? So we're both shackled to his energy. And the reason that I say that is that obviously the devil represents cheating, giving into desires, pleasures. It's like not having control over your needs. It's excessive behavior, also mental health issues, which I do pick up on a little bit as well. It specifically says cheating in the Rider-Waite deck explanation of the devil. So I feel like, there's still the masculine still does not have complete control over he's not in complete control. He's just not in complete control yet. He still is. I think the cheating is still. I think there's still karmic attachments around. I think even the way he'd be treating the divine feminine, I think that he could, instead of facing his demons, his devil, he's still kind of projecting onto us a little bit, maybe. For some people, maybe not for all. And as I said, I know the significance in the fact that I drew the King of Swords in reverse, and yeah, because, and it's mirroring the devil, is because the King of Swords is manipulative, cutthroat, cold, and I think that is a reflection of the energy of the devil for the masculine. If we go over to the divine feminine side now, yes, how I've done this, I'll just explain it, sorry. So here, I don't know how to explain it, it's so bizarre. So I did actually draw look at all the major arcana cards there. That is insane. We've got Temperance, Magician, Empress, Chariot, Fool, and Devil. Okay? And then for the normal, suites, we've got Ace of Cups, Five of Cups, and Six of Swords. Oh, and King of Swords. Okay. It's really bizarre how I drew all major arcanas for what's going on, and then for the summary and overall outcome, I drew sweeps. But I think, there's significance in everything. The reason I feel like that is because I feel like there's been a bit of a decline in the union. I feel like it was going well for a period, and then for whatever reason it was just taken an unknown turn or an unexpected turn for the not so good. I'm going to draw more cards to clarify, but so for the divine feminine, which is on this side, then we've got the masculine on this side, and then down the middle, it's the energies that it's the energy of the union ship. And I know I've got the King of Swords at the top, but that is because his energy directly is impacting us as well. So, let's explain. So the I've got Temperance, the first card drawn at the top for Divine Feminine, and I think that's because she was able to remain, she got control of her emotions, she was able to remain calm, harmonious, she approached everything with peace, she was balanced, she got control of herself, she looked ahead and was focused on all the right things, she balanced out her emotions, which I think was a real issue, and therefore that puts her into the Empress, Divine Feminine, obviously. But I find it really, again, so we've got the Temperance card and for the starting energy for Divine Feminine, and then we finish with the Ace of Cups. So we've gone from her being in balance and being in control of her emotions, the two cups flowing water, 1 foot on land, 1 foot on the water, calm, balance, peace, to and energy being no control of emotions because it's in reverse. So it's unsteady energy, inconsistency. It's also false, because it's a cup is emotions, and it's sort of handed, it's being offered back to front, spilling, emptying. It's offered fake offerings, ingenuine offerings, which is what I feel like the Divine Feminine feels she's getting from Divine Masculine, if there is contact. And also unexpected change. And I also find it funny for the overall energy for DM, we have the Six of Swords, which again is traveling across water. And if it's the right way up, it would be calm water and everything, but it's the wrong way around. So I'm going to say uncalm waters, traveling over uncalm waters, unsteady waters, water being emotions, and again is it's a card of moving, crossing waters, travel, And again, unexpected changes. But I do notice there's two figures with the back turned to us. We can't see who they are, and he's rolling them across. I feel like we can't see them because he's hiding them from us. He doesn't. They're hidden. They're hidden for a reason. And it's the hiding of this. It's him being secretive about this, or there's a child there as well. So mother and child. It's a family that he's not being truthful about. He's not being honest about, or not being completely. Anyway, something that he's hiding. He wants to keep their backs turned, and he wants them to remain covered. So he wants them to remain, he wants them to have their backs turned to him and the situation, and he wants them to remain covered for us. And that's what's causing the unsteady emotions, negative energy. And then for the overall energy, I've got, again, cups. Water. And I know swords is intellect and everything, but yeah. I'm read the cards intuitively, not just, scripted. This is about both parties being too caught up in the past, on past energies and on the things that have happened. Now I'm going to make note as well. Okay. It all just links up. It's crazy. So I'm explaining the feminine. Please, I don't know how to explain this. It's like so cool. Okay. So that's her energy. So she's remain calm and everything. That puts her into the Empress. She's the Empress. She's the divine feminine. She's everything. She's the Empress. She's the ruler. She is the queen. She is the queen. But yeah, because of the energy from divine masculine, it sent her into the state of instead of having her cups controlled in the temperance, she's like, feel like she's losing control a little bit. She just feels a bit. There's a real imbalance at the moment. There's disharmony. There's I feel something's happened. So we go over to the DM side now. We start off as the magician. So he had everything there to manifest everything that he wanted, and he was getting there. Like there wasn't the emperor yet, but he was the magician. He was number one. He's progressing on that path towards. And it would have been looking like it was going really well. He had everything there, and he was in control, and he was manifesting it, and he knew what he wanted. And I don't really. Okay, so I'm going to point out. This is how it all links to me. So that's number one, the magician. Then the next energy he goes to is 0, the fool. So if we look. Okay, so if we look at it, we've got 0, 1, 0, 3. We're missing 2. We're just missing 2, which is the Lover's card. But what is in between those is the Chariot. The Chariot is 5 and 2. 5 is, change, struggles, conflict, also expansion and growth. So the way I'm looking at the card is 5, 2. There still needs to be more expansion and growth. Do you know what I mean? And if it's also this one that goes afterwards, okay, there's so much in the Chariot. It's just, it's insane. um, 5 and 2, 3, 2. Okay, let me just not get ahead of myself. Hey, sorry, I'm so excited. So we've got him. He's in control and everything. It's good. And then we've got him going from that to the Fool. I know the Fool is inspiration, hopes, new dreams, yada yada yada. It's in reverse, so it's negative. I'm not going to take it literally. He's been a fool. He was in an absolute effing fool. And it's going off this because he hasn't moved out. He still hasn't been able to break that devil energy. He has just acted foolishly just with that energy, not thinking about anything else, not considering anything else, just full steam ahead. I want what I want. That's what I desire. That's what I feel like. I don't want to deal with guilt. To act like this is going to be easier than acting in an honest and truthful emperor kind of way. So I'm going to just be a fool. Which has then led to the ending energy being the, as I said, 6 of Swords, which I went through. Alright, I'm going to pull more cards to clarify why and everything, but I just want to go through this first. So then we've got the 2 individual energies and their progress in the last, say like week, 2 weeks. Now, as a union, we have the energy is manipulation, manipulative, unbalanced, unfair, overuse of power. Like, I feel like the divine masculine, it's like got comfortable with thinking that the F is always going to be there. Like, I feel like he just maybe got a little bit cocky as well, and he just thought that he was in control of the whole thing. I think that he thought that he just had the reins, that it was just him steering the whole union and he could just do what he wanted. Also, I have to point out with the Chariot, this is what I got last time too. So look at I don't know what that symbol's called, I should really look it up, but you know the medical symbol, yeah? Okay, if you look at the Lover's card, which is number 2, which is what's missing, kind of, not really. Okay, the angel above the 2 lovers is a representation of that symbol, yeah? Because you think of the lovers as like an upgraded version of the 2 of Cups. And what is in between the 2 of Cups? Okay, that's number 2. It's union, duality, yada yada yada. So you get the gist. Now, I feel it silly to ignore the fact that we've got 2 things out the front here with the symbol that represents the lovers over the top of them. I'm just trying to see if they're both male or it's hard to tell. That one's female, obviously, and that one could possibly be male. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they are, but they're slaves. They're not, they're not people. They're these 2 things that are controlling this chariot. They don't have their own power yet. And then they've got their backs turned to each other. And who's this person? I don't know, but yeah, he's controlling it at 5 and 2. And I'm getting so carried away. That's what I mean. I feel like he thought that he was in control of the relationship. Also, in the last time I saw these 2 as the 2 karmics, Also, if you get that he's not viewing, he's not respecting the power of the he's abused the power of the union, he's abused the power of the connection, he is I get really strong manipulative, really strong manipulative, really strong, really not nice, hey. I've been too confident in the connection, even, like, you know, maybe he does kind of realize a little bit what it is and is like, oh, well, you know, is I just really get this, as especially with the, King of Swords in reverse. Just really and this is all very sensitive of my focus on the masculine, but I think that it's not the reason that it's drawing more on masculine's energy for the two as the joint energy is because divine feminine is kind of I feel like because of this she's picked up on it a little bit, and I think that came within the Empress and being the temperament as well, is she kind of let go of it a little bit and just I think she needed to let go of it because it was getting too much like this again. So I think, you know, she was just more focused on herself, and if there was any emphasis on the connection for her, it was in, I feel this is more for people that are in contact, because I feel like the only she's just doing her own thing. She's not doing anything, you know, she's kind of sorting herself out, and there's no really of importance to mention for her because she's kind of doing what she needs to be doing, and she's not, you know, nothing that she's doing is really going to affect the connection in a negative light because her intentions are quite pure and she knows what she wants. As the masculine, he doesn't know what he wants. His intentions aren't really all that pure yet, so his actions are going to have an effect because he knows he's not being honest. He knows what the connection is. So for him to lie or do anything to go against that, he's conscious of it. He's thinking about it, and if you think about it, you manifest it, you make it real. That's why we're focusing more on his energy, and it does affect us because any response that we've had to the connection recently, I'm going to say that it was as a direct result of something that had happened with the masculine, with contact. This is definitely not for people that are in a union, and this is for people in separation with contact. Even just the slightest bit of contact. Maybe you haven't heard from them for a while and all of a sudden you did hear from them and it wasn't pleasant, but I just get in a lot of unpleasantness. And I'm thinking, no, it's because of the symbolism I'm getting between the 5, 2 and the 5 here is because Two of Cups, what I say the Two of Cups is duality, is like a downgraded version of the Lover's card. So we can't, that's what I'm saying, like he's so focused on the wrong things, like that he's failing. And this goes for both parties. They're so focused on feminine, they're so focused on, like, why are we letting the masculine in control anyway? Like, we need to take back our control. I know that would be that in reverse. But I also feel like maybe because this energy is not going to be long lasting as well. It's negative in everything at the moment. It's not negative. Negative is a bad word. It's not feeling all that positive. It's a lot of like a bit of uncomfortableness, a bit of disagreement. It's unsteady waters. Let's put it that way. Rocky roads, wavy seas, rough seas, rough seas at the moment. Even this is water in the back of it too. I feel like the fact that these two, we've got an upright and the water's quite calm. I feel like the symbolism, the meaning of this is that we're so focused on the past, we're so focused on what hasn't worked out. No, not even the past as such. We're so focused on what hasn't been working. We're just looking at everything negatively. We're focusing on all the wrong things. So we just need to change perspective. But I feel like this might be over soon, or that realization might come soon, because the Chariot is fast moving energy. But yeah, I think the reason why it started off with major guards and ended in minor was because there has been a decline, and it's all because of our perspective of the situation. It's nothing that either person has done as such. That's not true. I think divine masculine has been a little bit catty because he can't deal with the spilled cups. Neither I feel like neither can she, but she has balanced herself, so she put herself in that temperance state, so she did have a little bit more control over it, and because masculine wasn't quite there yet because he hasn't got rid of all his demons, he was a little bit more responsive to it, and not for a good reason, a bit more deflective of the situation, but yeah, it's because unbalanced emotions, it's our perspective, it's our emotions, we need more belief in the unity of the connection. When you don't have control of your emotions, it's a pretty good indication that you don't fully have control of yourself yet. And that's what this is all about. It's about growing, and it's about growing stronger, knowing who we are, so we have control of ourselves. And when we have control of ourselves, we know who we are a little bit more, we find our purpose. And when we're in control and we know, we can act on our purpose accordingly. And our purpose should be something humanitarian. It should be a humanitarian purpose. We can't do that if we don't have balance, we don't have control of our emotions, we don't have control of ourselves. So how can we fully help other people when we can be so easily triggered? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna put more cards. There was definite significance in all of that. I just don't know if I hope you can just see it. I don't think I really relayed it across to you all that great. So what cards do we want to pull for? Look, I'm confident about. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna ask, what put divine masculine in the full energy? The full and the six of things. What happened for divine masculine energy to go to the full into... Let's just go to full. So full for divine masculine. We can play some more times. Hmm. $41. Forget who you are. Conditioning falls away. Memory no longer defines you. Okay. I think struggling to let go of the past is really just that energy. You just won't let go of it. He just does not want to let go. He just set your course. Know where you wish to go. Have a plan, the right direction. But it's in reverse. Oh wow. It's fear. I think fear. Fear is what's putting him in. It's fear of the connection. I thought it might have been a karmic, but no, maybe it's just fear. It's fear. Maybe things have started to change. Maybe there is no divine. Maybe there's no karmic. Maybe it's the final thinking. I don't think there's a karmic anymore. Hey, I think that's falling apart as well. Or I can see it falling apart, but I don't feel like I'm not getting that strong. Like, definitely not. No, something's happened there. Definitely, it's the connection's not as strong. I think he's like seeing this change and he's feeling it, and it's really might be really scary. Right? That's what's causing it to be this way. So I've got investigate closely, ask questions, think before acting. And that's for... I'm not convinced because I wasn't like, it just fell out. I was just shuffling it. I wasn't really, I didn't direct my energy towards anything. I'm just sorry, it didn't feel right. So you can pull out explanation for the Six of Swords in regards to this person. Why is that something? Six of Swords. Whoop, that card went out. Okay. Such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, coming home. Okay. I think maybe he's like lived in a bit of reality, he's lived in a world for himself, he's just, he's been living the world through his eyes, which is how, how he's been seeing the world in a way that's convenient for him, and I think that mask or that veil has been lifted for him, and he's having to see the world through truth, not through his perspective, more honestly, unselfishly, and I think it's been quite confronting as well. Oh yeah, and I suppose two fears, cloaked, hidden. Yeah, okay, definitely. Yeah, I think the truths of situations are coming to light for him. Alright, sorry, another card for the Six of Swords. Ooh, sorry, I only pulled them if they fall out, they're not falling. Like that one. Belong to your own dream, create your own life. There's a really strong message I'm finding with these cards of like gaining your own control, set your course, forget who you are, such a curious dream, create your own, belong to your own dream. And he's like waking up and coming to reality and realizing he's got to make decisions and he's got to realize who he is. He can't just keep being this fool and like, I think he just has kind of just taken it as it comes, hasn't really ever set any. I think him making the decision, finalizing something is really scary because I feel like maybe that's not something he's really done. He's just always taken each day as it comes kind of thing. He's never really had a direct plan or, a set purpose. And then, okay, inspiration, determination, success. I feel like he's never really had direction. And I think he's finding that direction's being forced upon him a little bit, and it's scary because, I don't know, I think for whatever reason, plans scare him. But what other cards do I want to do? Okay, can we please expand the Chariot for the connection energy? I'm not going to do Venom because I'm pretty I don't have any, I know, what I'm being told is what I'm being told. I don't feel the need to know any more about that. But I do want to know about this because that is affecting us. So can you please explain the Chariot? Why do we have the Chariot? Why do we have the Chariot? Whoop. Keeping up in reverse. Immense effort, advance, but in reverse. That's funny because I have the Chariot upright, which is usually fast energy, but that card to me indicates slow. Sorry, I didn't really use this board, but it was really glary. So the board kind of stopped it from being so glary. Let's move you off the table because you're right. Now. Alright. And can we please have an explanation for the type of the card? What happened to it? Let's put the card back in the deck. I did too. I just drew 2 cards and I put one back. Okay, okay, that's fine. If it's meant to be, it will be. Get in my way. No, okay, sorry. Sorry. Okay, so can we please... Oh, there's another card for the Chariot. Whoa. Let's see, another card for this. Sorry, this card's really sticky. Was there another card? That's from the Chariot. Oh, sorry, see, they all keep flipping up. But it's like, here's some. Oh. You can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. I actually get this was for that. I don't know when it felt those, but it was, yeah, okay. Maybe, is there another card for the Chariot? Law is not justice, rules that are not fair but in reverse. Okay. So, where do we start? Let's start with the Fool. Where is my book? Right, Alright, so what's going on? So we have got 41, forget who you are. Alright, I'm pretty sure it says I like what the book says. What do you call yourself? The fawn said at last. Such a soft, sweet voice it had. I wish I knew, thought Alice. She answered rather sadly. Nothing, just now. Think again, it said. That won't do. Alice thought, but nothing came of it. Please, would you tell me what you call yourself? She said timidly. I think that might help a little. I'll tell you, if you come a little further on, the fawn said. I can't remember here. So they walked on together through the woods, Alice with her arms clasped lovingly around the soft neck of the fawn, until they came out onto another open field. You have missed a new experience, one in which you have no idea of who you are anymore. Paradoxically, this apparent loss of self is a beautiful gift. The loss of memory of the self, the absence of the conditioning that defines us, means we can approach new people and situations with innocence and freshness, which is kind of the full innocence and everything. This is an opportunity to connect from the heart. So it is with Alice when she enters Looking Glass Forest with magical powers. All who enter forget who they are. Thus, not knowing he ought to be frightened of a human, a fawn approaches Alice. She responds with an incredible fondness for the fawn, and they meet in a simple affection, connection, and friendship. When we forget what we have been taught to fear or to hate, it brings the opportunity for a whole new series of beautiful relationships to blossom. This is the situation you find yourself in now. Forget what you tell yourself you are. Forget what others have said you ought to be. Forget the enmity, the avoidance, the fear we live with far too often. Forget who you have been taught to be. Instead, reawaken the innocence of the soul. Unknow thyself. Accept the mystery of you. Within that open space, within that forest where we all return to our ancient, most natural self, where we can be one again. You are discovering what can happen when you rely less on conditioning, memory, and civilization, and more on heart, receptivity, and nature. New friendship connections, gentleness, and joy will be yours. Okay, so I'll just read the next part before I explain it. You heard what that says, and I'll summarize that after I do. Sorry, did you hear that? I was like, pain. It's really scary. Set your course. Know where you wish to go, have a plan, the right direction. Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? That depends a good deal on where you want to get to, said the cat. I don't much care where, said Alice. Then it doesn't matter which way you go, said the cat. Alice, like so many of us, wants to know which way she ought to go. You too may be asking yourself which way to go, what direction to head in. This can include questioning what your sole purpose is, or asking for advice from others on what you ought to do, which way you take your life, what decisions to make, and what you need to do next. Alice is rather lost in Wonderland, and when we are lost, it is only natural to ask those who seem to know more than we do for advice on what we ought to do and where we need to head. But as the Cheshire Cat points out so cleverly, the direction for Alice depends on where Alice wishes to go. It is the same for you. So now you must spend some more time focusing your thoughts towards knowing where it is you want to get to. Once you have a better idea of where your desired destination, the ambitions you wish to achieve or the dreams you wish to create, you will know what to do. Until you know that, it will be very hard for anyone to offer you any advice at all. I'm so blind. Let's just do that. Anyway, this also applies to the advice you give yourself. Don't fail about and don't be at the mercy of other people's advice or opinions. Ask yourself what you want to create, do, achieve, and be. You can then seek the very best advice and head in the best direction for you. It's in reverse, so unable to set course, drifting, saying you're going with the flow, but allowing others to send you this way and that, asking for guidance without knowing where it is you wish to go, refusing to plan or to prepare, and then feeling confused as to why you seem to be stuck or thrown this way and that. Okay. Alright, so at the fool who's just like walking off a cliff, no direction, hey, just straight off the cliff, whatever, YOLO. So it's okay. I feel the reason has been forced upon him. Okay, ready? Okay, so he's in the fool because he's full, young, innocent, naive. He doesn't know who he is anymore. He's feeling lost and confused, and because he doesn't know who he is anymore, it means he's having to figure that out. But there's a choice. Like, you know, he's like asking, like, who am I supposed to be? Like, what am I supposed to be? What am I doing? Like, what is my real purpose in this life? Because what I thought was my purpose isn't my purpose. Like, I was so sure that this was my life, and I was just meant to go along and just do whatever, but this isn't working. Like, I need to make a choice. Like, I can't just keep going like this because I feel like I'm going to walk off a cliff. I think it's really, really, really overwhelming, and I think because there is a strong connection with the divine feminine, it's the one thing that he probably is sure about. So I feel like because that is the one thing that is so clear to him at the moment, or the one thing that feels so sure, I feel like he holds us responsible for everything. It's kind of like, well, this is all her doing. It's her. She's done it. She had to have done it. Like, everything was fine. Like, I was like just going along, and I was just me, and you know, it was what it always was until she came along. And now look, now I'm lost and confused. It's all too much for me, and I feel like that. Yeah. And it does. I feel like he's just. I think he's also like looking at us maybe for guidance as well, and we're just not giving him the answers that he wants. It's because nothing's going to be answered that he wants because he doesn't know. But that's what's caused him anyway. That's what that energy. That's what's caused him. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. That's what's put him into that energy. So then we've got the Six of Swords in reverse. 45, such a curious dream. I've had a curious dream, said Alice. And she told her sister, as well as she could remember them, all these strange adventures of hers. And when she finished, her sister kissed her and said, "It was a curious dream, dear, certainly, but now run into your tea. It's getting late." We often have remarkable moments, just as Alice does, when she begins her journey by following the white rabbit. But just as we must follow the dream, we must also return to the everyday. In this card, at this moment, you are being asked to return to what many people might consider ordinary. You must take care of yourself. Eat well, go home, be grounded, and take care of what must be taken care of. The ordinary and yet blessed responsibilities within our lives. Okay, I get this. There is still great magic in this, especially after journeying through our own wonderland and knowing true enchantment. We can return, but we are forever changed. Sorry. Now it is time to ground. Come home. Interrogate the experiences you've had and do the simple mundane tasks that most people don't consider special enough to have any magic within them. But they are magic. Deal soul. deal soul. I like this deck a lot because it does actually do talks of the soul of who. Let's say Wonderland's 5D. So it's about Alice venturing out of the 5D into the 3D. That's how I'm going to use this deck. That's how I've been using this deck actually, just kind of clicked. So the way I'm reading this is like return to such a curious dream. It's feeling what he feels in the 5D, but then experiencing what he's experienced in the 3D. It's like, wow, this feeling of it's so great, and it's like mystical and get carried away in that energy and just, of divine feminine, the unity, the connection of the twin flames. But then, when he's in that headspace and thinking of it all, and it's like a daydream. It's like a dream. It's like Wonderland. It is like Wonderland, but I think there's that detachment, and then when it's come back into reality, it's like it doesn't meet. Like it's what he has thought it to be, or what he felt it to be. And I think this goes for both as well, actually. I feel like that could also be a little representation of the Well, let's put it this way. If we're tired by the energy of him being the devil, then, and what, if, we're connected, then I connect the summary. I don't think that's, that Ace of Cups is just for Divine Feminine and the Swords is just for Divine Masculine. I think interconnect them. So I think this can apply an Ace of Cups too. Yeah, okay. I think it applies to both of them. Wanting to hold on to an experience and not return to the everyday, wishing to live in Wonderland rather than experiencing it and bringing its magic into everyday world. So as I said, let's say Wonderland is the 5D. So it's wanting to hold on to the that feeling that we have, why we feel so connected to each other, what makes us know that we are the other person's counterpart. It's wanting to hold on to that feeling, but it's the 3D is not exactly like that. So it's not wanting to return to reality, but obviously we have to. And it's, yeah, we're actually wishing to live in Wonderland, so we're just wanting to be there. We want to be there because it feels better, but we can't. So wishing to live in Wonderland rather than experiencing it and bringing its magic into your everyday world. So it's kind of a message like, I think there's a bit of a discord between, you know, what we feel when we're apart and what we know should be, and what we feel when we think about the other person, opposed to what we actually feel when we are greeted with them, is completely the opposite. Like, it does not match, and I think that's what's causing the like upset in emotion. It's the unbalance. It's the negativity. It's not seeing eye to eye, but it's up to us to bring that into 3D. And it's when we're just focusing on the 3 cups of this fill, we're just focusing on the negative, not focusing on the positive. We're not bringing those 2 cups forward. They're standing behind us. We need to turn around and face the 2 cups and bring those cups forward. It's up to us to bring those cups forward. It's not going to happen itself. So we need to, do you want to say? Becoming ungrounded and disconnected, feeling drawn to fantasy, being susceptible to illusions. And it is because it's yeah, it's a lot of confusion as well, because I'm thinking, and then towards intellect as well. I'm giving you a lot of confusion. Yeah, if that makes sense. It's what we know it should be is, so our expectations of it, because it's not our expectations, it is what it is, it's true, you know, but 5D is the, you know, what we experience is real, what we, you know, and by real I mean by what we can see and touch and physically feel. So because that isn't matching what we know in our hearts, in our soul, it's confusing, because there is not the belief in the connection as such, and then we're like, you know, and because no one's really talking about it either, it's, you know, I think it's causing a little bit of resentment. I think that's why it's like, you know, set your course, and it's like, you know, seeking guidance and everything, but no one can answer that for you but yourself, is because all this has happened around this connection. It has forced the divine masculine to change his perspective and everything, and that was brought on by the, you know, meeting the divine feminine. I can't say it. So I think he has kind of been looking to us for answers. It's kind of like, well, can you just bloody well say something a little bit more to solidify, you know, this connection, this feeling? Like, can you say something to make it more true? Because I feel like I'm going insane, I'm going crazy, and I just don't know what to do. Like, is this real? I don't even know. I just need you to, I'm sorry, I don't like channeling this, like, yeah, I'm channeling, sorry. I just need you to be clear. I just need you to be clear. I need you to tell me what is going on. I don't know. How am I don't know who I am, and it's really hard to move forward if I don't know. Like, you need to be more clear. You need to tell me if this is real, because I'm going crazy. You're the more spiritual one. You're the person who believes in all this stuff, so you tell me. I learn this stuff from you. You're playing games with me. You must be playing games with me. It's all too much. Okay. Alrighty. Sorry. Alright. So, belong to your own dream, 32. Oh, that was intense, hey? Sorry. A little bit unsettling. So I wasn't, oh my god. So I wasn't dreaming after all, she said to herself. Unless we're all part of the same dream, Only I do hope it's my dream and not the Red Kings. It's 45. It's going hand in hand. Okay. It definitely is about. See, both these cards are pulled for that. Is it about a dream and being unsure, or Okay. When Alice plaintively wonders whether everything she is experiencing is part of a great dream, the same dream shared by many beings, the twin flame connection, the same dream, she wonders whose dream it is. Is this just things like, is it divine? Is it my dream? Is it your dream? Like, what are you doing to me? We ought to be concerned about whether we are living our own dream or making our own mistakes, following our own hearts, or simply doing what others believe we ought, and thus making their mistakes, following what their hearts think is best for us, and living in their dream. Okay, I get it. Some people and some societies are very powerful. Our cultures would like us to live in a certain dream, to marry, to have a home, a good job, and to die peacefully. So I'm reading this, and I know what it says because I've read it so many times before, but this is not what I'm hearing. I'm like, it's not what I'm getting from it. Hey, I'll finish and see if it still stands. This card asks you to remember your own dreams and wishes, and to set about making sure they're governing your choices. Many people will encourage you to head in a certain direction and live in a particular way that nearly everyone will agree is right. But you have your own dream, a life in which will live a little more adventurously and strangely than many others. It is time to break free of the collective dream and live within your own. Belong to your only one dream, magical soul. Wait. It is time to break free of the collective dream and live within your own. Belong to only one dream, magical soul. Belong to your own. Finding you have been following a plan and a path that is truly not your own. Deciding to take steps to live in a way that is authentic and truly your own. Rebelling. Wishing to live in your own world. No longer making decisions, staying with people or in jobs that are no longer a part of your dream. Not being directed or governed by the desire and dreams of others. Deciding to make some big changes towards following the path that is your soul's true dream for its evolution in this lifetime. Okay, so the thing about this is, let me just stop and calm myself down, and don't try to rush ahead and just think about it, because I am getting a message, I'm just not listening. Okay, I'm just telling myself off because I've been told off. Hey, alright. But my dream's not reality. Is it my dream? Because I don't even know anymore. Because our souls are so connected, and we do share the same dreams and everything, and I think because there is, like, it's freakish at times, not that it should be, because, yeah, but I feel like, well, you just, okay, oh, I'm getting chills. Okay, ready? You speak my dream. You know my dream, and it was never my dream before, but now it is my dream, and you just are playing that part all too well. It's manipulation. You manipulated me. You've tricked me. It's manipulation. Really stuck in the debating. Really thinks it's trickery. Really thinks it's divine feminine tricked him. He's really trying to grasp. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's totally grumps. He's totally grumps at us because he thinks that we're manipulating him. And that's what's causing the unsteady emotions and then the rough waters of traveling by and everything. He really just needs to, like... And the reason he thinks this is because he doesn't have direction himself yet. He needs to know... It's projection. It is so projection. It is projection. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know himself. He doesn't know what he's doing. He sees the divine feminine who seems to have an understanding and a path. Like, she knows what she wants to do. He can see that. And it kind of gets to him. So because he sees our clarity and our self-worth as intimidate. That wasn't what I meant. As power. He sees that as us holding the power. Because he's uncertain. Okay, let's put it this way. Say males are quite competitive. So let's say if they kind of have a vague understanding of what this is. Or maybe you even mentioned to them that, we need to sort ourselves out first. There's common ground, common understanding that we need to sort ourselves out first before we can make this anything real. So then he kind of sees it as a little bit of a race. Plus he's a male. He likes, he likes to be able to tell you what to do. He likes to be able to give you advice. But when he really is so unsure about where he's going and what direction he's taking in life, it's a bit hard to give us advice. So I think it might have been a little bit of a situation where if this resonates, don't get this as people in connection, separation, but talking some, or if there's some kind of communication, maybe it's and maybe it feels like he's had to look for the divine feminine for advice, or look up to her, instead of us looking up to him. I feel like it's more him looking up to us, which at the start was good and he liked it and everything because it was a refreshing change and it opened his eyes up to so much. But now I think it's getting to the point where it's like, well, no, this isn't cool. Like, where's my power? And then because he's had all these awakenings, all these things happened, it's really like frazzled him even more, and it's really like unhinged him. Now he really doesn't know who he is, and so now it's like completely more vulnerable, because before at least he thought he had a sense of who he was. He did have a sense of who he was, but it was a false sense. Hence why it didn't grow into anything at that point. So I'm getting chills. He feels like it's him looking up to the divine. The divine masculine feels like he's looking up to DM's looking up to DF. I'm just gonna start saying that. And it makes him feel like he's losing his power. Magician, magic is lost. Magic. Yes. It's made him lost. He's losing his power. He doesn't hold the key anymore. He doesn't have magic. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take it literally with sexes and whatever. Yeah, that scares him, and that's thrown into the Fool as well. That's why he's so defensive about. So because he now views the divine, because DM views the DF as having control of this. Get it? Yeah. See, control of the situation. I got it wrong to start with, but I get there. All right. Okay. He feels like it's manipulation because he sees us as being the one with the power, the one with the control, the more stable one, the one who's, the one who's got control, the one who's, he views us as, he doesn't feel like he's going anywhere. He feels stuck, but he sees us as controlling our lives and, steering our lives somewhere. Because we can do that and he can't. And this will happen when he met us. I really feel like the DM thinks the DF is manipulating him. And that's why he's in this energy, because he can't take responsibility for himself yet. He was not taking responsibility for himself. This projecting by holding us accountable because he can't make decisions himself is complete projection at its freaking finest. And that's what that is, manipulation. That's why I got manipulation as such an overall strong thing. Manipulation. It's he can't take responsibility, because to take responsibility means facing his dark side. And he is not ready to do that yet. So instead, he just thinks that we are manipulating him. He has completely denied the connection. He's trying to deny what it is. That's why he's confused. It feels like it's a dream. And he's so unsure because he's trying to deny the connection and write it off as manipulation. So that way it gives an explanation to everything for him that is without him actually taking any responsibility for himself. Whew. Hell yeah, I hope you felt me on that. Duh. That is exactly what that is. 40. I get it. No. This side of love is in control. Oh. 40 in reverse. Keep up. Immense effort, advance. Keeping up, keeping up. He can't keep up with the divine feminine. That is it. Sorry. He can't keep up with it. That's fast moving energy. I get it now. I get it. I get it. I get it. See? I get it. Duh. Stupid. He can't keep up with the divine feminine. He can't keep up with her. She's moving. He feels like she's moving too fast. And if she keeps moving too fast, then she might move on completely. Like, you know, she's finished the race and started running another race while he's still, you know, trying to catch up. And it scares him. It scares him. So by deflecting, I don't want this card. I don't feel like I don't want this card because I just, oh no. See, it's in reverse. She's got 2 scales, Justice card, and the Justice card isn't coming out. It's just a Justice card. It's the Justice card in reverse. It's not balanced. He's being manipulative because he can't keep up. He's being unfair. Because he doesn't feel it's balanced because he can't keep up. He feels like she is winning the race. He feels like she is so much more ahead of him. He doesn't like it. Loses his power. He doesn't have control. She has control. It scares him. It's unbalanced. It's yeah. Yeah. That's what the Chariot is. And he needs to get rid of that energy. Like and for us, I feel like we kind of feel like, because he's being so, yeah. Because he is being so, because of the way he feels, whether he means to or not, it is projecting, and projecting is blaming and taking his shit out and turning his problems, and, you know, well, these problems are our problems, but he's directly like, you know, this is your fault. I was like, what, how is this even my fault? Like, what are you talking about? How is this my fault? Like, you did it. You were in complete control of that. Like, I have nothing to do with that. You made that choice. I mean, maybe you were there somewhere or something, but, like, you really blaming me? You for real? And I think that is why, that's what's actually really unsettled her. With the connection and everything else, I feel like the Empress, that's why she was the Empress, but she did balance it, and she could remain in balance. But, I feel like it's like, because he's just like, he's attacking her, and she's like, well, she can't rationalize. It's like, well, why are you blaming me for this? Like, I don't understand. Like, is it because you just don't like me? Like, this isn't right. Like, why are you acting like this? This is so not right. Like, this isn't, you don't, why are you treating me like this? I can't trust you now because you're just, oh, I know this isn't my fault. You're tricking me. You're trying to trick me. I feel like both parties feel like it's manipulation. And it's because they don't trust in the connection. As I just said before, the cups and the worlds, and bringing what's felt in the 5D into the 3D. It's because of that. That's created the uncertainty, which just makes everything else so much easier to flow on. I want to read this anyway. Hey. Sluggish approaches will not be rewarded. Feeling it impossible to change the way things are. Feeling entrapped by the efforts required to change your current situation. Okay, so also, if we can, okay, we're going to feel like, okay, multiple meanings. Maybe there's 2 meanings, multiple meanings. Yeah, so move someone else. It's not really, same thing. He knows what he has to do to change the situation. It means confronting himself, dealing with his shit, dealing with his problems, and probably being honest with them. And coming forth and saying something. Being honest and laying his shit out on the table. But that is too hard. It feels impossible. He feels trapped because it's like, whoa, that's not really a win-win situation. It's a lose-lose situation for me. Like, how do you want me to be honest with you and tell you everything? Like, man, that's going to piss you off. You're going to be so angry at me. That's not going to help. But if I keep doing this, I'm constantly having to lie, and you just keep asking questions because I feel like you know, and you do know because you keep making snide remarks because you're manipulating me. And oh wow, God. Oh, it's his own guilt, hey. And that's it. It's he not making any changes is not going to be rewarded. And then law 30. Oh, yeah. The law of the hand balance out, like having to do what's right for it to go anywhere, but not being able to. Believing the law is right. Believing the law is right under any circumstance, accepting the judgment of a powerful person without question, allowing yourself to be influenced without knowing the story, a deep bias which is colouring your vision, a flawed filter through which you or another might be seeing the world. Take the time to think independently. Okay, get it. Because it was felt in the 5D, it should be felt here in the 3D. And sharing it, again, it's like, it's not matching up. Just because, yeah, okay. Understanding that this might be a twin flame connection or a soulmate connection, whatever they think it is, because I'd be very, maybe they do know what twin flame is. Anyway, I feel like just because it should, yeah, that's what I said before, okay. Feeling like just because it knows it's a soul connection, and, you know, we're bound by the law of our souls, like, by history, like, that's what ties us, and that it's like, you know, that's pretty much law, right? So just because, thinking because it's that way, that it's going to be that way, and, you know, thinking it's okay just, you know, it's just going to fall into place without having to do the work, without having to be honest, you know, that's what I said when I first put the card out. I said taking power over it, the connection, because he was so sure that it's just like, you know, it didn't really matter because what's gonna be is gonna be, like, you know, whatever. I feel like that was kind of the energy, and he kind of used that to his advantage, you know, and just took things a little bit too far, thinking that, you know, she's not going to go anywhere, she's bound, she's contracted to me by soul. It's a soul contract. She ain't going nowhere. She's it's the law of the souls of the universe that we have to be together. So I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, and I feel like that's what it's kind of like, taking advantage of the situation and, you know, abusing his power. Definitely. Whether that is two meanings or that is applicable to one person, I don't. Yeah. Either or. Sorry. You can't go back to yesterday, be in the present. You are more than your past. You have evolved and changed. Sharing your history is only to share who you once were. You are no longer the same person. Okay, I am going to read all of this because this is a good one. And the Griffin added, "Come, let's hear some of your adventures." "I could tell you my adventures, beginning from this morning," said Alice a little timidly, but it's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then." In this lovely moment, Alice has been asked to re-encounter her adventures for the Griffin, who longs to hear them and is genuinely interested. Alice would love to share too, but she knows if she talks a great deal about what has happened and where she is from, she will never truly be able to move forward and find out who she is, that she has changed and is within the world of Wonderland. What happened and where she will never truly be able to move forward and find out who she is now, that she has changed and is in the world of Wonderland here. The Griffin wants her to share so he can be entertained and perhaps get to know her a little better. Oh my goodness. But for Alice, the thought of reliving the past is no good, as it will not help him know her, as she has changed too much, and therefore her history is not a way to true friendship. Perhaps this is the same for you. Focus on creating new memories, on sharing new experiences, on getting to know someone and letting them know you in the present, through observation and conversation. Accept that you have changed. As we change, the simple telling of who we were and what we did is something not as powerful as sharing who we are becoming and experiencing new adventures right in the heart of the precious moment that is present. Yes, we can share past adventures and histories, but perhaps you were quite a different person then. So consider adventuring forth and fully experiencing the present with people you have connected with. Your past will spill out of you. Your past will spill out of you. Your past will spill out of you. Sorry. When the time is right for the sharings of such things. Need to let go of who we are, need to let go of the past, need to let go of what's happened, because I think maybe this is like all based on I feel like the fact that we feel like being manipulated as well, we've come to that conclusion or drawing that conclusion, not just because what is felt in the 5D opposed to what is actually experienced in 3D. I feel like we also base in that, or we're also getting that idea from what we've seen from our counterpart in the past. So I feel like we're still holding them accountable to past actions. Be like, well, you did this and this in the past. Even though we might not be voicing it and might not be saying it, I think subconsciously that it is what we're thinking. So whether we are admitting to it or not, to ourselves, to them, I think we're still holding the past, or holding them to the past, or they're holding us to the past. And the meeting of your twin flame is what triggers you to go through these drastic changes. So who we were when we first met is not who we are today. We've probably been 1,000 different people since then too, because we're just going through cycles, we're clearing things out, we're ending new cycles, going to another one. That's when I started this one, saying this could be for 3 days, 2 days, who knows, because it's such changing, the energy, it's changing so quickly, we're learning things so quickly, and obviously the divine feminine can quicker than the male. No, it doesn't matter who's, it's not a race, there's no, the only winner is, well, if one wins, the other wins. The prize is this connection, so it doesn't work to view it as a competition, because we're not competing against each other, we're competing, like, who are we competing against? We're meant to be a team. That's getting a bit lost as well. Yeah, do I need to say any more? Like, I want to keep this under an hour and a half. Yeah, I do. Bloody hell. But yeah, I basically, Divine Masculine is unable to let go of the past, still stuck in that energy, chasing things of the past, hence this as well, which is making his progress a little, delayed. There's more for him to work through, because he's, we've let go of something and he hasn't yet. So he's still in this state of not knowing who he is and still discovering himself. He's made a lot of progress because he has cleared a lot of things out, but that's kind of like left the slate blank, and now he needs to fill the slate and he doesn't know what to fill it with, and that's confusing him because he's really drawn to us, but then because there's no faith in the connection as such, or there's a bit, because of this, not really wanting to let go and fully accept to it and commit to it, he thinks that it's manipulation rather than just trusting that it's, it's just meant to be, like, we just get along, like, we are the same person, like, our souls, like, I feel like he knows this as well, but I feel like it's all really overwhelming, it's too much, it feels surreal, so hence the manipulation. Also because he sees the divine feminine is more in control. It's also intimidating and scary, which also is why he thinks that we are manipulating him. And DM is manipulating, DF is manipulating DM. That is causing DM to project and respond aggressively, and there's a word, it's like really like resenting. That's why he's resenting. He's got that resentment. Yeah, there's resentment. That's why it's coming across, and that's why the DF can feel the resentment of the DM, which is putting, that's that Ace of Cups. It's a really strong energy, really, really strong. I feel like DF are probably really, really feeling it too. And it's, confusion and really unsettled. It's really hurtful because it's a resentment. It's not just, it's resentment we're picking up, but that's, she got faith in the connection and everything, and just being harmonious. Shake the weapon, like, resentment. Come on, why are you resenting me now, man? Like, that wasn't a part of it. Like, I didn't counter in resentment when I was working on everything. Like, that's harsh. I haven't done anything. But why would I counter in resentment? Why would I think that resentment's something that I normally have to deal with? Because I haven't done anything for you to resent me. So this isn't right. This isn't fair. I feel like Divine Feminine's really, a lot of, yeah, sorry, messy. What's the, let me see her, I just give it positive message. Sorry, let me see her. Okay, what's going to be, how's it going to end? Listen. Whoa. Okay. Definitely not going to be around an hour and a half. Man, these are so long. How do I talk so much? Realization, contemplation, inspiration, determination, realization, contemplation. Inspiration, determination, realization, contemplation. Something that success. You gotta contemplate you gotta contemplate your contribution. Wait. Okay. You need to make it a priority. You need to make it a priority to take action. And listen to the other properly and contemplate your contribution. Okay. And your contribution. Okay, no. You need to take priority and listen. Contemplate and listen to so contemplate and listen to the contribution. Contemplate and listen to the contribution No, sorry. You need priority. You need priority to action. You need to act. You need to make it a priority to act and contemplate and listen. And then with doing that, you'll have a realization. You'll have an awakening. And you'll know what you'll need to contribute for a resolution and a positive outcome. Be inspired by this connection. Be determined by this connection. And then you'll have success. Bam. What up? That's what it is. You need to make it a priority to act. I feel like you need to have a priority to listen and contemplate. That will lead you to a realization. And you'll have an awakening. About your contributions of love. What you need to contribute back to love. Then you need to action a resolution for a positive outcome. That's it. Oh my god, under a minute. We are under a minute. Under a minute. Under an hour and a half. What up? Done. I'm proud of that. That one felt good.